it's got me getting here. I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live with Luis Antonio Pena, who's fighting on the Ultimate Fight finale against Richie Smalling. Just wait for Luis to come on and we'll get it started. I think we'll wait for Luis to pop up and we'll get started. Here we go.
What's up?
What's happening?
Oh, nothing much. I'm actually just walking back to the hotel from eating lunch.
Good stuff. Being refueled.
Yes, sir. Just had some fun.
You're a busy week ahead of you.
Dude, it's been a busy past, couple of months for me, to be quite honest.
I can imagine. Obviously, we've been super busy. We have Brad Catona on there this week. We've tried to get a few others, and obviously
Man, it's not even like that. It's just been a busy week, dealing with all the stuff with the UFC, USADA, and all that. And then, of course, seems like everyone wants to talk to me for some reason. I have no clue why.
Like I said to you on my podcast, you're the next big thing, so everyone wants to be instead of later on when it's even harder to get a hold of it.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. To me, like I said, I'm just a normal dude. I don't understand why everyone wants to talk to me, but hey, I'm here.
Yeah, it's one of them things. You try and get people early on in their career, and you can watch it blossom. But if you get it on too late, stardom sometimes goes to people's heads, and they just ignore it.
Yeah, I'm trying my hardest to not ignore everybody and try and get to all those interviews, but it's quite ridiculous how many requests I have for interviews and stuff like that. I have sitting in my DMs, requests and inboxes on Twitter and Instagram. Not to brag or anything. It's just man, guys, I gotta train and sleep sometimes,
I can imagine the show obviously is a big booster for that, and not many people you've had champions come from there, so you can kind of understand where it comes from.
Oh no, of course. Speaking of the show, I'm actually rocking my JoJo Giannetti shirt for tonight.
Good stuff. I've actually got like the podcast we done. I've actually got a podcast planned, hopefully within the next few weeks with Joe.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Joe's he's one of my boys, man. We roomed together in the house. It was in our room. It was me, Joe, Tyler Diamond, and Bryce Mitchell.
How was it? Obviously we've spoken before, but for the people who haven't listened to the podcast with you, it got crazy. You need to go and check it out. How was it? Obviously, you've gone from living in your own house to you and your girlfriend to sharing a room with 4 guys.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't mind that much. I will say this: the one weird thing is and I don't know how people are gonna take this, but we were sitting there, and I want to say like maybe a good 2 weeks in, me and Tyler kind of looked at each other and we're like, "Yo, has anyone got an erection in like 2 weeks?" We all thought our dicks stopped working.
Well, I spoke to Jay Cuccinello, and he was saying, I said to him, because obviously he was in the military, I said, so that kind of had to have a benefit for him going into the house. Like, he was used to that, and he was saying, like, he's used to sharing a tent with about 30 guys, so going into
Oh my
the
God.
house with 15 guys was child's play.
Yeah, I mean, one thing people might not know about me, I lived in my gym that I trained at in St. Louis for about 2 years, so it really it wasn't like a big deal for me either. I've had a ton of people, coming in and out of where I live. I never really had privacy. I'm talking getting woken up at 12 a.m. because someone wanted to come and train. It's like, yeah, it wasn't really a big deal for me either.
Some people might find it really uncomfortable and let it affect their training, how they're living, how they're eating, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're all there for one thing, and if you focus on the prize and want it bad enough, then it's going to work. You're going to make it work, really.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, if you're the kind of person that thrives no matter what, you're gonna find a way to make that kind of situation work and work for you. That's kind of what I've been telling people too. Is like, especially unfortunately, I didn't get to enjoy my experience training that long because I got injured. But one thing I did notice quite like right off the bat was how much I enjoyed like not having any distractions in my life whatsoever, because all it gave me the ability to focus on nothing but training and nothing but fighting.
Yeah, see, that's similar to what Jay Cuccinello said. He said, how could people not like it? You getting free training. Sorry, John Gunther said it. I spoke to John Gunther. He said, you're getting free training with two of the top, teams of the top coaches in the world. You're getting free food. He said, I'd never even seen a house that big. He said, never mind staying in it. He said, and I got to live in it. He said, I got free food. He said,
Exactly.
I got... Hey, how can you not like it? And you're in Vegas.
Dude, it was amazing, for me. Just like John said, I've never really seen a house that big, let alone being able to live in something like that, especially coming from like essentially living in a closet in a gym. And then not only that, but the producers were just like, I hate saying it like this, they were kind of like our nannies. They took care of us like Mary Poppins or something. Like anytime we wanted anything, anytime you said anything, the producers were right there because we all were wearing mics 24/7. So anytime you complained about anything, the producers were right there to make sure it was taken care of. It was great.
Yeah, and I know from speaking to yourself and a few of the other guys as well that they tried to stop you doing a few things. Like on the show, Bryce wanted to shoot an arrow off your head.
Oh, they tried. They tried to stop us, but then me and Bryce were like, dude, what are they going to do if we just do it?
And my understanding as well, Luke Rockhold got involved as well with Bryce and was egging him on and jeering him on to do stuff as well. And shot an arrow through a wicker basket.
Oh, dude, you should have. So one of the greatest moments for me the entire season, we're getting ready. I want to say it was, I can't remember exactly what day or what time during the show, but it was really close to the end. We were all getting ready to go or getting ready to, get everything finished and wrapped up. And Bryce decided he wanted to shoot one of the lawn chairs, and the producers overheard him, and so they send out one of the producers to come and like stop him, and Bryce was just having none of it. And then you could hear the producer over the mic go, I tried. Dude, it was one of those things you just got to be there for, because he was sitting there, had like a long conversation with him, and Bryce is just like, fuck it, and just let that bow launch.
I thought it was quite funny how Luke Rockhold got involved and was like, yeah, just do it, fuck it, what are they going to do?
Oh, dude,
And he
come
kind of took a
on.
rap for him.
Cool Hand Luke, yeah, that was my man. I love him. He's actually been up here. Hasn't really been able to help training at all because he
Just
like
had an
hurt his foot
operation.
or something. Yeah, he just had an operation, but he's actually been up here supporting me in DC in our camps the past couple weeks. It's been really cool to have him and see him again. Especially, having a guy like Luke Rockhold, a former UFC and former Strikeforce champion that I look up to for such a
Yeah.
long time, remember me and remember who I am. That was pretty awesome.
So was it for you like it is for me? Like you watching these guys on telly, then they're actually there and you're talking to them. It's like a holy shit moment. Like for me, I'm watching you guys on telly, and now I'm talking to you. It's like holy shit.
It kind of is, but I mean, at the same time, with as much shit as we get at AKA, or as much shit as I get at AKA from like guys like DC and my boxing coach Rosendo Sanchez, I really, you can't sit there and be like, oh my God, it's Luke Rockhold, or else you're gonna get joked on for the rest of practice.
Yeah. Right. Well, we'll get back to you training with DC and stuff in a minute. I'm going to fire out some questions. One of my friends, Gary, who's an ambassador for a beard company, says you've got a sick beard.
Oh, thank you. I actually am looking for a beard oil sponsor if anyone wants to help. Hook a man up.
Well, if we can, well, he's an ambassador for a beard company. If they ship to America, we'll be sure to hook you up.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
A guy called Daniel O'Connor has put, where did you get his nickname from?
So, what's up, Dan? That's actually one of my good friends from back in St. Louis. The nickname came mainly from Flow Combat. They tweeted out a picture of me promoting me for my last fight before the house, and I remember one of the fans was like, "When did Bob Ross's son start fighting?" And that's kind of where it evolved from.
He's also asked if you're going to be a supervillain, what supervillain would you be?
Oh, if I was gonna be a supervillain, oh man, that's a tough one. Probably Darkseid because of the Omega Beam from Injustice 2. If you played that, like the Omega Beam in Injustice 2 is just OP. Like my boy Cortavius Romeus, who's actually got his pro debut coming up this weekend. Uh, we play Injustice 2 all the time, and I can't touch him because all he does is just sit there and spam the Omega Beam on me from with Darkseid. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely would have to go with Darkseid.
Just to get one back on you.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan
Say hi to
Cole's
the
put.
people, folks.
Jonathan Cole's put. Do work, Luis. Luis.
Oh, thank you guys.
Great to see you
That's
perform fight week.
for me, that is I will say this. That's the biggest thing I can take away from this experience is just the outpouring of positive messages and support and love I've gotten from all these people that want to call themselves my fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never in a million years when I started fighting thought, you know, I would have an actual fan base, but it's kind of blown up for me, and I really can't appreciate it enough. I can't tell those people how much I appreciate that. Because, it's awesome having my friends and family and the people that know me personally support me, but to have a ton of people that don't know me and just know me through the show and know me through fighting and have started to kind of learn who I am through all these articles and interviews I've done, kind of gravitate towards me, it means the world to me.
Good stuff. It's a crazy experience, and hopefully you can not in a bad way, but you can handle it and stay grounded and take
Oh,
it as
without a
positive.
doubt.
Like some people get stage fright from it, and it makes them crumble. So hopefully you can make it work in your benefit.
Oh, without a doubt. That's actually something that it's not something that really bothers me at all. I've honestly always kind of been the bad guy, quote unquote, in my fights. So to finally like be in a position where people are going to be cheering my name instead of booing me when I walk out, it's kind of cool.
That's one of the things I'm going to ask you. Fight night, when Bruce Buffer says your name, are you having a fight nickname, or how is he going to say Luis Violent Bob Ross Pena?
Oh, I've like dreamed about this moment for so long, and
How
then
sweet
all
would
I
it be?
all I can think about the past like couple months has been like hearing Bruce Buffer's voice say, "Violent Bob Ross." Like that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I said it to my girlfriend earlier. I was like, I wonder what Bruce Buffer's going to say, because all of that's going to be quite a mouthful for him. Like, Bruce Buffer's going to have his work cut out.
It's gonna. I'm hopeful. I'm hoping he can get it, because like I think that's one thing all the fans are waiting on is to hear Bruce Buffer finally say it, just as
Yeah.
much as I am.
My friend Gary also says, back to the superhero thing, ask him who'd win between Batman and Superman. Gary, come on, man. Batman all day.
Of course, with enough prep time, Batman can beat anybody because he's Batman.
Exactly. Batman's like the coolest guy ever.
Except Deadpool. I feel like Deadpool would probably wreck
Yeah.
Batman.
Hunter Homistek from Flow Combat came up with the nickname, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
That's
think
from
so. I think Hunter was the one that coined the term Violent Bob Ross.
Daniel O'Connor's commented again saying, do you have a scouter for your opponents?
No, it's just that 1,000-yard stare. I always see, most of them break right then and there at weigh-ins or right then and there whenever we're staring at each other from across the cage. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't see that happening with Richie. He's a tough dude. I respect the hell out of him. I can't wait for this one. I know we're probably gonna go grab a pint of Guinness afterwards.
Let him bring out the Irish in you.
Oh, dude, that's the one thing we bonded over because Guinness is my favorite beer.
Oh, see, I'm not a fan.
What?
I don't like.
It's crazy. That's gotta,
I don't
yeah.
really drink.
Aw,
I don't
man, I'm
drink
not a
much.
big drinker either. But when I do, I'd like to. I usually chill with a Guinness or an ice cold Modelo Cerveza Especial, a special beer sponsor of the UFC.
uh, Pete, one of the guys, has commented again. It's a good story about Pete actually. I started doing a podcast about something else, and he listened to it, and we got through talking to each other through Twitter about photography, because he's a photographer, unreal photographer, and he listened to my podcast and said I should do an MMA podcast. 3 months later, here we are. I'm talking to a UFC fighter. So I've got a lot of thanks for Pete. But he said,
That's
what's the
awesome.
biggest difference in training at AKA versus your old gym in St. Louis?
I can't lie, man. The biggest difference in training here is just the amount of like great training partners I have. Yesterday Islam Makhachev came back to get ready for his fight with Kejon Johnson, and that was one of the hardest wrestling rounds I think I've ever been through in my entire life. I'm training with guys like Adam Piccolotti all the time, sparring great Thai fighters. All the guys from the Eastern European side of the team are just like they're all killers, man. There's no easy rounds here. That's the probably without a doubt the biggest difference in training here versus back home.
And obviously, it could be a step up in competition. Obviously, AKA is a well-renowned gym, so top-level guys are going to go there. Not saying you didn't have top-level guys in St. Louis, but
Oh
you've
no,
got
not
more
without a doubt.
top-level guys going to AKA, and the level of competition steps up.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And that's the thing, is like here soon, Khabib's gonna be back, getting ready for his next fight. So
Hmm.
there's another great body here. There's just you can't really compare when it comes to the amount of amazing training partners. And that's I've been training with guys like Blagoy Ivanov. I've had a couple sparring rounds with him. He's getting ready to fight Junior Dos Santos. I've had a couple sparring rounds with DC, with Kane. I've actually sparred a lot with Kane Velasquez. And that dude. You think you
I bet
think
that hurts.
Demetrius Johnson has cardio? It's like I've never had a fighter push me as hard as Kane has. Like he just doesn't stop, man. You think you're like, all right, he's got to get tired sometime. He just doesn't get tired. I don't know how the man does it.
And for the size of him as well, you'd expect him to get at least a little bit tired.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, he's sitting there like you think he's breathing heavy, and then all of a sudden a spinning wheel kick flies by your face. You're like, oh my God.
Right, back to Daniel O'Connor's question. It wasn't a super villain, it was a super saiyan. Who would you be?
Oh, Super Saiyan Vegeta all day. That's my favorite from Dragon Ball Z, without a doubt. There's no question. Vegeta was my favorite character on Dragon Ball Z.
My friend Gary's going to get to work talking to his company about getting you a sponsor for your beard.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Uh, Matt Weeble has put, who was your toughest opponent to date, pro or amateur?
Toughest opponent to date. That's a hard one. I've fought, some really, really tough guys, especially in my professional career. Before I got in the house, my last two opponents were actually undefeated. I probably have to go with Kobe Wall just because, he's the one person that's probably caused the most damage to me in my entire career. He hit me with one elbow at the end of the first round of our fight, and that cracked my orbital and gave me such a bad concussion that I had to take off like a month of training after that fight.
Good stuff. Matt's also commented, where can we follow you on Twitter and Instagram?
Twitter and Instagram, same thing. At Violent Bob Ross, all one word.
I'm loving that. So, obviously, you're leading up to fight week. After, obviously, watching the UFC and stuff like that, and hearing all this stuff about fight week and leading up to fight week, how are you containing yourself of, like, obviously watching it on the telly, hearing about it from fighters and stuff like that, to actually being living it yourself in a couple of days?
Um, you know, I definitely, it's one of those things like, yeah, it's a big deal, but for me, it's just another day in the office. I fly out with DC Sunday, and it's not really like right now. It's not really a big thing for me. I'm just focused on getting the rest of this week through. Um, training hard and fine tuning everything with my coaches and my training partners, and that's really what I'm more focused on. I really like fight week. That's gonna be there. It's gonna be cool. And all I'm really worried about fight week is getting the weight down. It's not the UFC stuff that's cool and everything, but that's gonna be coming second to me. I just like it's not really the biggest deal to me right now.
So there's a lot of issues in the UFC at the minute with weight cutting and people making weight and stuff. Have you started your weight cut so that when you get to fight week it's a bit easier, or how do you do it?
Um, I
Or is the weight
really
on point?
it's my weight's on point. I'm usually ending practices around 165 to 162. So like I'm not even really worried about the weight cut at all. I'm honestly just worried about training down there, making sure I have the right amount of training without overdoing it on fight week, because that's usually been my biggest problem on fight week in the past is I never know when to stop sometimes.
Yeah, you don't want to do too much, but you don't want to do too little.
Exactly.
Trying to find the right balance in the middle is a bit of a
And that's
struggle.
honestly
Obviously,
been
if
one
you
of the oh yeah, no, and what I was gonna say, that's honestly been another great asset um, to being here at AKA is like they've pretty much been on top of all of that for me. You know what I mean? Like I've kind of had all of that taken out of my hands, and it's been really, really nice for me because I don't have to worry about anything like that. My coaches, Lucindo Sanchez, Javier Mendez, and Bob Cook out here, they're on top of all of that, making sure I don't train too hard, but I'm trained, or I don't train too hard close to fight week, but I'm still getting the quality work in that I need to be able to keep myself sharp.
and obviously now you've built the relationship with DC through the show, and now carrying it on. I've seen him giving you a little bit of advice, obviously when you done hurt your foot and you did the FaceTime with him and stuff like that. He was there to support you, obviously through a hard time, and now you're training with him, and he's obviously with you coaching and stuff like that. That must be a big boost for like, because obviously he's been at the top, so he knows how much to do, and obviously he spent so much time with you at the gym, on the show, so he knows how far you can go before you're doing too much, or how far you can actually push it before you're doing too little.
Oh yeah, man. DC has been I don't even know how to explain it, man. DC's been almost like a second dad to me since I've been here. You know, he's taking care of me just like he would anyone else, like one of his kids. Um, whether it's just advice, whether it's, pushing me in the training room. That's another thing is like um, just being in his presence, man, it's inspiring. Watching how hard he works and how much he puts in. It drives you to want to catch up with him. It drives you to want to beat him. We're both two competitive guys, and like every time we're sitting there in the bike, doing the bike workout, I just try to emulate everything DC does because I want to be at that level. You know what I'm saying? I want to be where he is right now, and he's the one guy in the room that you can always look to for inspiration because he's never going to quit. He never ever gives up in the training room. It's amazing to watch him and to just be in his
Yeah, and
presence. I feel blessed.
that's what I was saying. Like with the competition stepping up at AKA, obviously if you've got someone there that's like that you can look to and emulate and stuff like that. I mean, the guy's at the top of the game at the minute, and he could be crowned the full baddest man on the planet if he beats Stipe. So if there's anyone to go by or to follow suit, he's not a bad role model.
Not at all. Not by a long shot. He's actually been, and that's the thing. Not only in training and in fighting and everything, but outside of all that, he's a great role model. I've had the pleasure of being able to sit in and help DC with a couple of his practices here in Gilroy with the high school team and his club team, and just watching him interact with the kids and watching his coaching style and all of that has also like really really inspired me and really helped me grow as a person as much as a fighter.
Good stuff. So obviously you're fighting Richie Smullen. You said is going to be a tough fight. He's a tough guy and stuff like that. But obviously you didn't get to see much of him on the show because he got injured before his first fight. Have you looked into any of his previous fights or anything like that, or is that not sort of your thing where you focus 1%, 100% on your game plan instead of trying to follow someone else's to figure out what they're going to do first?
I mean, for the most part, you're right. I'm not big on watching my opponents or anything like that. But with Richie, I felt the need to just to get a sense of how he likes to do things. Personally, I don't really go and watch when I watch film on anybody. I don't really go and watch like what they do so much as how they do it. I want to see are you throwing with technique? Are you throwing your strikes with technique? Is there explosiveness in the grappling? Is there, explosiveness in your wrestling and your takedowns? I want to see, I look to see if there is like sharp technique there. And that's the thing with Richie is, everything's looking good. Everything's looking like this is going to be an all-out war. And I'm excited because those are the kind of fights you want to be in. Those are the kind of fights that get people talking and, hopefully will get us both opportunities going forward.
And he'll have the similar determination to what you've got. Obviously, they couldn't carry on the show because both of you had an injury, which is obviously real shit for both of you. But at least you got to fight in the Ultimate Fighter.
Exactly. It's unfortunate for Richie because I kind of felt like he would have probably won in that matchup. But at the end of the day, what can you do? It happened to both of us, and we got our opportunity, and now it's just time for one of us to shine. And unfortunately, this is my opportunity. As much as I like Richie and as much as I hope the best for him, this is my time. This is my opportunity, and I'm going to be the one taking it. You know what I mean? Like he'll get his down the road, but this isn't the one.
It's a dog eat dog world. That's why we love the fight game.
Exactly.
Mark Laws has put Demir or Kobe tougher.
It's a tough one, man, because both of them came out. Both of them gave me a lot of problems. Um, I'll have to just because Kobe lasted longer, man. I have to go with Kobe. He went all three. He went 3 rounds in what would have been a 5 round fight, where I finished Demir in the second.
Pete's commented again and says, "Do you feel ready for the press and the interviews when you land in Vegas?" Yeah, like you said, you've had a lot of people demand. You're in demand, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
gonna get
I
better.
mean,
It's gonna get worse, but it's gonna get better.
without as without bragging or anything, or without sounding cocky, it's like, yeah, I feel ready for all that. I've had a good amount of preparation in my fight camp, in the months leading up to this. So I feel, I'm ready for it. I got to do tough talk twice, so kind of also a little bit experienced in what's going to be like in the UFC's press. So I'm ready. I'm actually kind of excited for all of that because that's some of the stuff, some guys they don't really like, especially during fight week or cutting weight. For me, I'm kind of excited because it's another platform for the fans to kind of get behind me and get to know me a little bit more.
Jeff Haskins has put, how hard was it not to punch Delani?
Actually, I wasn't thinking about punching Delani. I was thinking about spinning back kicking him with my boot, or spinning wheel kicking him with the boot. I was sitting there. I was actually like, Suman's in front of me, and I'm thinking to myself, I've got the boots on my left foot. That's my power leg. So if I just step to my left and go, it'll totally miss Suman, and I'll catch Delani, and I might just kill him.
Should have thrown your scooter at him.
Oh, man, no, there's no way I was going to damage the scooter. That thing was so fun. Everyone was taking rides on that, but I had so much fun. I actually still have the scooter, too.
Oh, yeah, you got to keep that. That should go up on the wall or something, like
Oh, without a
memorabilia.
doubt.
The ultimate fighter
Without a
scooter.
doubt. I might just sign it and auction it off one day.
Oh, amazing. Pete's already put, who are you picking, Ortega or Holloway?
Holloway all day. No doubt about it.
How's the garlic smell in Gilroy right now?
Oh my God, it's terrible. So Gilroy, I didn't know this, but apparently Gilroy is like the garlic capital of America or something like that. And like we just happen to live right, or the hotel that I'm staying at happens to be right next to the garlic farm. So you step out of this thing, and that's all you can smell is garlic.
And I know this guy, Tom Mearns. He's put,
Oh
let's get
yeah,
Bob Ross. He's
I
watching.
appreciate it, Tom. I love Tom, man. Back when we were doing the tryouts, me and Tom actually went to Fremont Street with another Hope Ultimate Fighter hopeful TJ Britton and my girlfriend at the time, and then we also went to the Hoover Dam. It was really cool. We had a nice like little like connection there. I really, and one other thing is like I hope Tom. I've been kind of keeping up with him. I hope his recovery's going really well. I know he broke his arm or dislocated it in his last fight. It looks like the recovery's going really well. I've seen him on Instagram and everything. Looks like he's kind of back to training, back to rehabbing a little bit. And I want to see him, get back in there and get that win back.
I actually done a Facebook Live with him afterwards, after he'd done his arm injury,
Man,
and I spoke to him on my podcast with it as well. He's one of the hardest working guys I've spoke to. Like after I've watched the MMA and stuff since Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner, and there's not many people that I've seen over that amount of time that put in as much heart and as much effort. Like the guy broke his arm 2 weeks later, he was back in the gym. Well, I know a couple of years later he
exactly.
was back in the gym.
Exactly, man. You can't teach that kind of heart and dedication to the sport. That's one of those things you got to be born with, and
Yeah.
luckily Tom has it. So I know, here soon he's going to be getting his opportunities.
He actually lives quite local to me as well. He's only about an hour and a half drive away from me.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I've always actually wanted
Yeah.
to go over to Europe. I was born in Italy, so hopefully here soon. I think the UFC is going to be making a trip over to Italy here soon. I'm hoping to get on that card and maybe just stay a little while and travel Europe for a week or two. So that'd be cool to come out there to the UK, especially.
Well, if it comes to it, I think Cage Warriors as well are going to be holding, which is a UK promotion, are going to be holding an event in Italy because they've had six
Oh, that's
guys come through
awesome.
the ranks. They've had six guys come through the ranks to Cage Warriors that are all Italian. One of them
I
fought
didn't know
on
that.
UFC Liverpool, Carlo Pedasoli.
Oh, I saw that. I keep up with most
Yeah.
of the Italian fighters just because, there's not too many of them. And
Yep.
got to keep up, got to support the motherland.
Yeah, see, that was a close one. And I know Brad, I've been to an event with Brad Scott as well. and he rings me quite regular.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was watching now, and Richard Alvarez has put, how are you going to finish the fight?
Aviles, how am I going
Yeah,
to finish the
Aviles.
fight?
Ah, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to
Any way
go
it
closer
comes,
to
man.
C's.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. Any way it comes, I'm not the kind of guy that goes out there and looks for something. I feel like when you go out there and you start looking for stuff, that's when you make mistakes. So I'm gonna just let the fight play out, and if the finish comes, the finish is gonna come.
He's also said if you sign that scooter, he'll have it.
Bet.
And Pete commented again, saying, when Rockhold gets better, will you go surfing with him?
What? Oh, will I go surfing with him? Oh yeah, most definitely. Trying to get on that Polo Ralph Lauren train with him too.
I can just imagine you and Luke Rockhold on a Ralph Lauren advert standing next to each other.
Right? I mean, you gotta have the fro on the Ralph Lauren. It would be great. That's actually probably like my favorite brand anyway. I wear a lot of polo.
Good stuff. Right, I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to bed at the
Awesome.
1:45 in
No,
the
I
morning.
understand. Ah, man, I'm so sorry. But I really
Ah,
appreciate talking to you. I really appreciate you having me on, man. Once again, I love these opportunities to kind of get to talk to the fans and get to let them know a little bit more about me.
well, I've only started this page, a couple of days ago, so you're actually my first Facebook Live interview.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
The
so
very first, the
hopefully we
inaugural.
hopefully we can catch up after the fight, and
Most
good luck,
definitely.
all the best. But yeah,
I
if you've got any
appreciate it, man.
sponsors, anyone you want to shout out, then fire away.
Of course. I've actually, Richard is one of my sponsors at Aviles Translations LLC, Art Street Wheel and Tire, Iron Jaw Custom Mouth Guards, Koi CBD, and Fuji Sports and BJJ. Want to give a big shout out to all of them, all my sponsors. Of course, all my teammates and training partners and coaches down at St. Charles MMA. Keep me locked, and of course, all my coaches and training partners here in California at AKA that have been helping me get ready for this fight. And also a big thank you to RDX Sports and Bad Boy Brands. They've hooked me up with a lot of gear to keep me looking good this camp. And yeah, man, and once again, all the fans, everyone that's kind of supported me from day one, and then all the fans that have sent out positive messages from the time everyone found out my foot was broken and that I was out of the competition, and then just the outpouring of positive messages I got when people heard that I was going to be finally get my opportunity and going to be fighting my UFC debut. It's just overwhelming. I can't thank everybody enough.
Good stuff. Well, again, I thank you for
Oh
your
yeah, and
time.
I want to thank my newest official sponsor, Morir and Larea Clothing. They hooked me up with a bunch of new stuff, so go check them out. All their stuff is super comfortable, super well made.
Good stuff. I just want to give a quick shout out to CBD Life UK. If you check out my page that's on here now, I'm actually got a competition with them. Uh, all you have to do is like my page, like their page, share the post, and we're giving away some free shit. And
Awesome,
also Ultimate Fighting Outlet as well. Go and check them out. They're on Twitter at UFO_MMA. They do everything from wraps, gloves, gum shields, the lot. Go and check them out. Yeah, for
awesome,
CBD Life, if you use discount code Monstars15, and for Ultimate Fighting Outlet, use discount code Monstars MMA for discount on your order.
awesome, man. It's awesome.
And yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and thank you for
Of
your
course,
time.
yeah. Thanks everyone for watching and commenting and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I really appreciate all the positive messages and support I've gotten. And Scott, once again, thank you for having me on and giving me this platform to be able to kind of let everyone know who I am.
No worries. We'll have to have another one after the fight.
Oh, most definitely, man, most definitely. Win or
Good
lose,
stuff.
win most.
Yeah.
Going out there to win, but
Win.
win or lose, I don't
Positive.
really
Win.
care. Yeah, exactly. Win.
And I'll be sure to let you know about that beard stuff too.
Awesome. Yeah, just shoot me a message. and I really appreciate the offer too, or like looking into it.
No worries. That's what we do.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, have a
Thank
good
you very
night,
much.
man.
Enjoy the
I
rest
hate
of
to
your
keep you
day.
up so late. Yes,
That's all right.
sir.
It's worth it.
Awesome, awesome. You have a good one, man.
Cheers, and you.